Hello, everybody, and welcome into the first ever XRP Las Vegas live stream from the entire Good Morning Crypto team today. We've got Johnny, we've got Mario, we've got Gonzo. We're also going to be giving you guys a recap of the live Bitcoin event that we went to, Bitcoin Conference 2025. We heard JD Vance, we heard Michael Saylor, some of the most influential people in the market. And here was my big takeaway, Johnny. Even the Bitcoin maximalists are admitting an alt season is coming soon. And it's not just about ETFs. It's not just about regulation. Stable coins are going to bring millions and billions and eventually trillions of dollars into some of our favorite blockchain products. So I'm really excited about that, guys. As you can tell, this is an exclusive. We are behind the scenes right now. Big shout out to Brad and DAI and them for letting us do this. Ripple already has a booth set up. Some massive companies around us. I'm not sure if we're allowed to disclose that, so I'm going to keep myself safe and play it safe here. Johnny Crypto, as the light goes out, I'm going to kick it over to you, my friend. What's your reaction to being...
I'm just wondering, Abs, I don't know if we're getting kicked out or what's going on over here, but this is why we test things behind the scenes. Folks, we are giving you behind the scenes as we are setting up here in Las Vegas live for XRP 2025 at the Merlin booth. It is super exciting. And yes, it's a little late evening, so maybe a little night, with the lights going out. But the good news is, Abs, I think to your point, we saw at Bitcoin 2025 conference as we wrapped up that part of the week. There is definitely excitement in the air. We saw a lot of people, like you said, they weren't hostile at all, as you kind of call them, secret XRP fans there. Yeah. I believe there are people just starting to open their minds up and realizing that, hey, this is a blockchain space. This is a blockchain technology. It is more than just Bitcoin. It is going to be bigger than just Bitcoin alone. So I think people are starting to see what's happening, Abs. And JD Vance was there, and he literally said, hey, guys, crypto's here to stay, and you now have a champion in Washington, D.C.
And you know what's important, guys, is that this entire narrative is coming to fruition. Regulation, mass adoption, TradFi companies starting to leverage blockchain products. Now, I do want to give a big shout out. Merlin is going to have a booth tomorrow. And the reason that we're doing this test live on my Twitter, you're not going to see this stream on YouTube, is because we're working out some of the kinks right now. So we're trying to figure out exactly how we're going to do this. Tomorrow, we have a massive live stream planned. We're going to have huge A-list guests. Hopefully, we'll have Zach Rector. We'll have Mikkel. We have some of the most influential people in the XRP community going to be sitting down and joining us. We're also going to be doing some recaps of some of the speakers here. And just remember, guys, it goes Ripple's booth, 2 other companies, the Merlin booth, my friend. So great placement by the entire team. Now, Mario and Gonzo, I want to start with Mario here. Mario, now, at the Bitcoin event, there was a ton of influential players. And I think it's a great outline of where the XRP community is headed a decade from now. Nobody knows where this industry is going to be. But today was a great example. The vice president in attendance, Michael Saylor in attendance, but both of Trump's children were in attendance. Donald Trump and Eric Trump both gave speeches on the event and outlined a very optimistic case scenario for crypto investors, which is pretty cool. So what were some of your thoughts about Bitcoin's conference? And then we'll talk XRP Las Vegas.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, good evening, everybody. It's definitely a great show that we've got here prepared for you. The Bitcoin conference was absolutely massive. I mean, it was one of the biggest conferences that I've ever attended. The energy over there was absolutely insane. The people were extremely optimistic about obviously the landscape of crypto and everything that's happening right now. I actually found it very interesting that the diversity, obviously it's a Bitcoin conference, but I found very interesting the fact that there was a lot of people that were just very crypto enthusiastic in general, and it wasn't just a Bitcoin centric thing. It was very interesting to see that statue that was donated by Ripple that was being showcased right there, that skull. So I'm super excited about that. It's been a great week, and now we're starting another very exciting path. For lack of a better term, we've got the XRP Las Vegas starting here tomorrow. So super excited about that. It's going to be a different energy. Honestly, last year was amazing. I think this year we've got something very, very special prepared because we were sitting around 50 cents last year, and now we're sitting around $2.20, $2.30. I think people are going to be way more excited this year than they were last year. And as Ab said, we've got some A-listers coming here to the booth. So if you're going to be here on XRP Las Vegas, come and check out the Merlin booth. We're going to be super excited to talk to you tomorrow.
I'm excited, guys. Couldn't say it better. Mario, Gonzo, I'm going to kick it back to you because here's something interesting, guys. Gonzo was talking, if we didn't break 111 with volume, we were coming back down, and Bitcoin is actually crashing today. So while XRP is surviving and thriving, what are you seeing, Gonzo, with Bitcoin?
Yeah, that support line was at about 106, 128. We lost that. We've bounced back. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, the Bitcoin conference is really cool. I got to do a lot of demos. What was surprising to me is usually when you deal with people that are like, Bitcoin heavy or Bitcoin maxis, They don't really look at altcoins. But I talked to a lot of people that were holding Bitcoin and were holding altcoins. I was able to demo Merlin and see how it works. The other surprising thing to me is I've seen a transition. We always talk about exit strategies, right? And usually it's associated with altcoins. And you see a lot of Bitcoin people that are talking about they never want to take profit. And so for those people that didn't want to take profit, what you're starting to see is a movement for lending. I know Coach Davies talked about taking a loan. That's how he got the insurance company. But it was what Jack Mahler with Strike. He was talking about within the last like 30 days or something, they're going to start doing lending. So it's almost like a different strategy when it comes to profit taking. So I think you start seeing a lot more talk about some version of profit taking, whether you're taking some chips off the table because you're doing an exit strategy, using something like Merlin, or if you have Bitcoin, you're taking some kind of a loan. We all think, we've all talked about this in the past, that as crypto and digital assets get bigger, you're going to be able to take loans over other digital assets, right? Only XRP because we're all XRP holders and stuff. Yeah, but I'm really excited. I think, like you said, that chapter's done. I've been really looking forward to this because while the Bitcoin energy was cool, like this is family right here, right? This is our third time being here at XRP Vegas. So it feels like family. I think this is kind of our niche. So I'm really excited to meet everybody. So please come to the Merlin booth, come say hi, give us a hug, and catch up with us.
Well, we know for sure Brad Garlinghouse is going to be here. Digital Perspectives, digital asset investor. David Schwartz is going to be in attendance. Lots of exciting people. So if you're just going to like a YouTube listener who listens to these people on a daily basis, I think XRP Las Vegas is the one opportunity where you get to be in the same room as some of your favorite content creators. And that's really cool, Johnny. I remember going through that experience the first time Brad ever hosted this event, seeing some of our favorite conference or content creators at the conference and so easily accessible. So if you're attending XRP Las Vegas, as the lights go out again, guys, this is why we're doing the prep. If you're attending XRP Las Vegas, be sure to come by the Merlin booth. This is mainly where we're going to be located. There's also John Deaton. We've got Eleanor Terrett. We've got Austin King. We're going to have Mikkel. We're going to have Zach Rector. All these exciting names. Any thoughts, Johnny, on your anticipation for tomorrow?
Yeah, I think like you said, Abs, when you think of the Bitcoin conference and you're there, you just see the sheer volume and magnitude of money being spent there on the vendors, and the size of it's just huge. It's massive. It shows you that that's an industry that's here to stay and it's growing. And then when you shift over here to XRP, I love how you characterize it as family. This is going to be feeling more cozy. You're going to get to see the people, the content creators that you love, and you're going to be able to rub shoulders with them and shake hands and be there. Whereas with the Bitcoin conference, it was kind of harder to do that because it was so big and so massive. So I think if you're looking to come to an event where you're going to learn about the industry and be able to shake hands and meet your favorite influencers, this is definitely the place where that's going to happen. XRP Las Vegas 2025. So make sure you come on by and say hi. Don't be shy. Say hi.
Johnny Crypto, people saw our interview with Peter Schiff, which I thought was really interesting because he's a huge crypto contrarian. And they're not even open-minded to the idea of altcoins, but even Bitcoin, they're like, it's a Ponzi scheme, it's Ponzi-nomics, yet you're attending the event. You could be anywhere in the world and you decided to come and surround yourself with crypto and Bitcoin investors in general. Talk about that the critics even are showing up to these events and saying, nah, I don't believe in it. I'm just giving you my time and money.
This is where, guys like Schiff are genius, okay? Controversy always, there's a book out there called Controversy Sells Cash. So he knows. Like when we saw him, I'll be honest with you, Abs, when you put it, you go, that Schiff. I looked and I was like, holy crap, Schiff. What the hell? First off, what the hell's he doing here? He hates Bitcoin. Why is he at the Bitcoin conference? It makes no sense. And you go there, and of course, he's even not only just walking at Abs. He had a freaking booth, and you're like, oh, okay, I get it now. It doesn't matter whether you loved or hated. The reality is, you always want to put yourself in a position where you can get attention. And that's exactly what Schiff is doing. He's drawing, hey, thank you for the lights. Schiff draws a lot, shine a light on it, right? And that's what Schiff's doing. He's letting people shine a light on him. He knows. I mean, you saw his booth apps. There were people going up there all the time wanting to talk to him, right? And the number one thing is literally, like, I think the way we thought, why are you here? You hate this thing. And so he was there, obviously, to crap on Bitcoin, and that's what he did.
Yep.
He still believes in gold. But I think the one thing that we got out of him, Abs, was interesting is you'll notice one thing he did say. While he kind of crapped on crypto, he did say that, maybe there's something in blockchain. He was not willing to kind of, he was at least willing to recognize that could be something. He's like, oh, it's been 10 years, nothing's happened. Yeah, no shit, we don't have regulation, but that's coming in about 3 months.
Right.
And that's going to unlock the door. So I think
he did say he owned $6,000 worth of Bitcoin, right? Because he wanted to watch it go to zero.
He said, I want to watch it go to zero.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was crazy. Just so he could crap on people. That's terrible.
Right. And it's funny, guys, because here's the reality. A lot of similarities between what Bitcoin was and what altcoin investors are now. 2014 Bitcoin is like 2025 XRP, and 2035 XRP is probably like 2025 Bitcoin in the sense that the community is going to get so big. This is only the third year hosting this event. The Bitcoin conference has been had, I think, 12 or 14 times. By the time it's the 12th or 14th XRP Las Vegas, do you think there'll be 30,000 people in attendance? I say yes. I mean,
I'll tell you what, there won't be. Brad and Danielle won't be doing it. I'll tell you what, it's that big. But there's no doubt about it that do I think it can get big like that? Absolutely. This whole industry, Abs, is going to explode. It's just on. I say this all the time over and over. I feel like we're in 1996, just getting ready to go into 1997 when everything started exploding with the .com boom. And I feel like we're just getting in that same energy. We just need the regulation to happen. That's the last key that needs to be unlocked. And now that we have the right, if you want to say pro crypto administration in place to make it happen, I feel like we're just on the edge for that thing to go boom. So put your seatbelt on, boys.
Yeah, I agree, Johnny. And then it's something that's very interesting that Peter Schiff being sort of against Bitcoin is the same principle as the Bitcoiners being against anything other than Bitcoin. I think that time is going to allow, and obviously regulation is a big piece, but time is going to allow for those people that just primarily believe in Bitcoin and think that nothing else should exist to finally realize that these altcoins are here to stay, that these technologies are not a competition to Bitcoin. They just serve a different purpose. They serve a different mission. They serve a different niche. And so Bitcoin is great at what it does. We talk about Bitcoin on the show all the time. We talk about Bitcoin, all the time, and we believe what it does. But the reality is Bitcoin was not designed. Well, Bitcoin was designed for payments, but it's in its current form. It cannot serve the payments. It cannot be fast. It cannot be cheap. And so there are other technologies out there. And obviously, we're here at XRP Las Vegas, and XRP has been one of those technologies. And even when it comes to tokenization. So I think they will eventually realize, and regulation is going to be such a massive key role for that. And America has stepped in and said that we want to make America the crypto capital of the world, not just the Bitcoin, but the crypto capital of the world.
Johnny, here's something really interesting. So we listened to a company like Shake Shack, which is at the Bitcoin conference. What do they say? We're using Bitcoin transactions to reduce costs by 50%. What was my immediate thought? Have you heard of XRP?
Exactly.
Right? And I think it's only a matter of time, literally. So give me some thoughts there.
Absolutely. Reality is, I think there's going to be, this is what's called first mover advantage. Bitcoin has been out there for so long. And you got to understand, some companies have already kind of been working with them and adopted that. And they want to push it. They want true, what they call free. Like, listen, I know we're going to get a lot of grief from our audience, but the reality is people just feel Bitcoin is truly fully autonomous and free, whereas XRP and the way the servers were set up in the nodes, they feel like it's not totally fully 100% decentralized. And so for that reason, I think you're always going to have certain companies that say, hey, I want the full decentralization, so I'm going to go Bitcoin. And to your point, though, companies are always looking for cheaper, better solutions. And at the end of the day, in the long run, while right now we're trying to push out new technologies in infancy, there are going to be companies that go, hey, I'm gonna bet on this horse, and I'm going to try to ride Bitcoin.
Yeah.
But what's going to happen is now when their competitors start using XRP or something cheaper, guess what? They're like, well, shit, I can't do it with Bitcoin to work. They're using XRP and it costs 1/10 and it's faster. Yeah. And then they're going to be forced to. So the better technology, I think, in the long run is going to win. But in the beginning, when you're starting out a new technology, it's like throwing spaghetti against the wall. You just throw it up there and you see what sticks, and that's what you're going to see right now.
Something you're familiar with, my friend. Now, Gonzo and Johnny, Gonzo and Mario, I do want to kick it over to you guys.
Don't forget the meatballs.
And everybody knows Johnny's number one rule. You never eat a cannoli in one bite. You don't get rich in one bull market, my friend. So you got to be here for the long term. We are only doing a 15-minute stream, guys. It's just a little glimpse. We're trying to get the lighting correct. We're trying to have our conversations right now. If you have any questions, ask them in live chat. There's not a lot of people here, so feel free. We got about 1,600 live listeners here joining us. Gonzo, Mario, what are you guys most excited about for tomorrow? For me personally, it's about the networking. It's about the conversations. I know there's a lot of great speakers. We're probably going to learn some exciting things, but the accessibility of some of the people that we watch every day, I think that's most interesting. What sticks out to you? And then we'll go to Gonzo.
Well, definitely the speakers. I definitely want to see the difference in the energy versus last year. Last year was a time where we were still dealing with the SEC. We were still dealing with uncertainty with crypto in general, in America. And I think that this time around, we're going to have a completely different energy. I think that people are going to be way more optimistic because not only do we not have the scrutiny of the SEC anymore, but we've got clarity coming for crypto. We've got a situation where our current government is saying that they want to create regulation for crypto. And not to even mention that they've mentioned Bitcoin and XRP. So I think that that's what I'm really looking for. It's just really connecting with people, feeling the energy in the room, potentially seeing if Ripple is, I saw some comments in the chat. Are they going to announce anything? I don't think that's going to be the case, but just seeing Ripple here representing
Ooh,
XRP.
you may be surprised, my friend.
Oh,
you may
really?
be
Yeah.
surprised.
Okay. I mean, we will see, but
I got a little insight. I don't know.
oh, shoot. We got to talk off air.
All right. Shut the camera off, my friend. Now, Gonzo, close it out, and then we'll have our discussion.
Yeah, I think for last year for me, it was meeting the other content creators. Now that we've gotten to know them, and for me, for this year, I think it's going to be meeting the holders and the fans. Right? We've had a lot of people that came up to us. Not a lot, but there's a handful of people that came up to us that were from the XRP community. That were at the Bitcoin conference that came up and talked to us and gave us hugs and told us that we changed their lives, and that was very special. So just getting to talk to them and catch up to them and answer their questions, that's really what I'm excited about.
Awesome. Big thank you to Gonzo. Huge shout out to you, Mario, for being so awesome. Johnny Crypto, any closing remarks? What are you most excited about for tomorrow? Is it the networking, the speakers? Give me some of your thoughts.
You know what? This may sound corny, but I'm excited for the people. I can't wait just to meet our family, the GMC community that's out there for
Yeah.
me. I'm looking forward to meeting all you guys out there, being able to shake hands and say hi and be able, and talk to you guys, answer any questions. For me, Abs, that is going to be the favorite part for me.
Yeah.
Because it's just for me that's our family. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all out there. So don't be shy. Come and say hi.
Big reminder, guys, we're going to be raffling off 90-day free trial of Merlin. We always do 30 days absolutely free. But if you're attending XRP Las Vegas and you enjoy our live stream, you enjoy our content, come by the Merlin booth, check out what we got going on. Even if you don't want to subscribe, come shake our hand, take a picture. That's what it's all about. So big thank you to Johnny. Big thank you to Gonzo. Big thank you to Mario as well, guys. And we'll see you all in the next one.
Let's go.
You're going to be so proud of your president, and I don't care about that. But you are going to be so proud of your country because we're going to turn it around and we're going to start winning again. We're going to win so much. We're going to win at every level. We're going to win economically. We're going to win with the economy. We're going to win with military. We're going to win with healthcare and for our veterans. We're going to win with every single facet. We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning.